haunted honeys. Welcome to Mrs.Melancholy. This is Elise.
And I'm Michelle.
And today we are recording without V.
Sadly, without V, she couldn't make it out to this recording, but we love you forever and always.
Love you, girly. So yeah, y'all are just gonna have to contend with Michelle and I.
Uh-oh.
Good luck. So tonight we gather in the shadows, tracing the eerie pulse of forgotten stories.
Ooh.
You'll also have to bear with me because it's Monday evening. It's going to be a wacky recording session, y'all.
Yeah, at least had a full day.
Had a full-ass day. Full-ass fucking day.
Full work day. And I didn't do much today, so posted a TikTok video. Created that shit, you know?
Yeah, you did.
You should go check it out. And if you don't already, follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Mrs.Melancholy Pod. There's dots in between. We'll post it.
We'll post it. You know what's what.
Yeah.
It's about the Alphaba Lush Bomb hat.
Yes.
Which was sick. We're not sponsored by Lush. We're open to being sponsored by Lush.
Elise is like getting into these sponsorships.
Guys, I just love Lush so fucking much.
Yeah, me too. Who doesn't want to take a Lush bath bomb bath every single night?
God, I know. And like when you're traveling, the shampoo bars,
yeah,
they're the best. They're
honestly,
so easy.
yeah, I've used Lush a lot when I traveled, and it's also because it's like it's an international company, so you can go anywhere. Like when I was in Ireland, I ran out of my face wash, so I had to go pick some up, and they had it.
It's right there.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. I miss when my Starbucks I used to work at was right beside the Lush on Queen Street.
Oh yeah, that Starbucks was iconic. I definitely pulled a couple double shifts
Yeah,
working there with you.
Yeah, you shadowed there with me. I know.
Sure did.
But shit, man, the people at Lush next door were the absolute best humans.
Yeah.
They're so nice.
I went in there a couple of times and they always gave like free hand massages, and you know what? Nothing better than a free handy. Ooh.
It's Monday.
Monday.
It's just another manic Monday. So tonight, we step into a world of spectacle, of grandeur, and of eerie echoes. The theater!
The theater.
Sorry if that was loud, y'all. The Mirvish Theatres, to be precise. So the Royal Alexandra Theatre, lovingly referred to as the Rat
Oh, yeah.
by Mirvish employees. I don't know if all Torontonians refer to it as the Rat, but
I have never heard of that.
Mirvish employees refer to it as the Rat. So they all have acronyms.
Oh my
So
god.
the Princess of Wales is the POW. Royal Alexandra is the Rat.
Yeah.
The Ed Mirvish Theatre is the Eddie.
Yeah.
And then the CAA is just the CAA.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I never knew that.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a thing amongst staff working there.
Surely is.
Yeah.
And also we're going to be talking about the Eddie, the Ed Mirvish Theatre, located on Yonge Street.
Yes, and we were just there a couple of weeks ago.
That's right, for Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge. If you can.
If you can. Go see the show if you can, because it is hot to trot, let me tell you.
It's so good. And like, seriously, dress up, because I feel like I was the only person there with my coochie out.
Yeah.
Can I say that?
You can say that. I would have. Okay, if the show was there in the summertime.
That's fair. I am a very warm
out.
person.
Yeah, you are. You're hot. You're too hot to chat.
Too hot.
But I run fucking freezing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
So-
fair. I just thought more people would be dressed up.
As someone who used to work there, yes, I did used to work at the Ed Mirvish Theatre for 5 years. Not a lot of people dress up.
That's so disappointing to me.
I know.
Get into it.
I know. It's upsetting.
I'm upset.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'll always be upset.
So close your eyes if you dare.
Ooh.
And we will take you into the haunted heart of Toronto theater. I do promise I'll move away from theater soon. There's a few more I want to get to eventually. I'm going to sprinkle in some other stuff.
I'm just laughing because you are a typical theater kid. But it's not a bad thing. We love hearing about the haunted theaters.
I literally, the next line in my notes is, please bear with my inner theater kid. A little bit longer. It's literally the next line.
LOL.
So yeah, there's a couple more I want to get to, but I will be sprinkling in some other stuff in betweens. All right, so let's get to it. Built in 1907, the Royal Alexandra Theatre was a grand vision, a jewel of Edwardian architecture designed to host the finest performances and the grandest of shows. For more than a century, the stage has witnessed countless performances, the laughter of audiences, and the thunderous applause that reverberates through the halls. But with every standing ovation, there's something more, something lingering. You see, the theater is not just a place for the living. It's also a home for the lost.
Ah, yeah. Go on, the Lost Boys. Sorry.
We fucking love the Lost Boys.
We do.
Never apologize for them.
But it's also like, yeah, it's like a... I mean, the theater itself is like an island for misfit toys.
It is.
So
well,
it makes
and
sense.
like that's how I ended up as a theater kid, because I was a misfit toy. I still am a misfit toy, but I don't feel like a misfit toy anymore, because like, you know, when you find your people, you're no longer a misfit. Because,
Exactly.
you know, you're all misfits together and you just create a girl gang and then start a podcast about creepy shit.
That's pretty much exactly what's going to happen. Wow, are you psychic?
It's my witchiness, bitch. So many say that the ghosts of the Royal Alexandra Theatre have become a part of its story, the theatre itself having its secrets. Now, the first whispers began shortly after the theatre opened, again in 1907, with reports of strange happenings backstage. It said that early on, some of the workers, stagehands, and performers began to notice things that they couldn't quite explain. A sudden drop in temperature, objects moving on their own, and footsteps echoing through empty hallways. Some even spoke of seeing figures in the darkened corners of the theater, figures who would vanish when they approached, leaving behind nothing but the faintest trace of cold air. But these early reports were quickly dismissed as superstition, the kind of stories that swirl in the minds of those who work late into the night in the quiet, you know, the lonely spaces of a theater at the turn of the century.
Yeah. I mean, theaters are creepy
to begin with.
In general.
But that's why I love them.
Yeah, me too.
However, in 1917, about a decade after its opening, during a production of The Merry Widow...
Never heard of it.
No, but like even the name itself, The Merry Widow, I'm like, well, someone died. You know?
Was it around Christmas time?
Because of Mary?
Because of Mary, yeah.
Because like Merry, not the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Merry Widow. A more chilling encounter occurred that would forever change the theater's reputation. A young actress just beginning her career was found on the balcony level, staring out into the empty theater. She was said to have been visibly shaken, her eyes wide, and her skin pale. As white as a ghost, you might say. She claimed that a figure had appeared to her in the shadows, a woman dressed in an old-fashioned gown, standing in one of the boxes. The actress, as the story goes, also I couldn't find her name, I'm sorry.
No, that's fair.
I'm so sorry. Went up to speak to this figure, but when she reached the box, there was no one there. Nothing but the faint smell of flowers. A scent, they say, that has always associated with the ghosts of the Royal Alexandra Theatre.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, even next time you see a show there, it does smell like flowers. It just does. If they're not popping popcorn for whatever show, if that's there, because, you know, popcorn, the smell, it takes over everything.
It will, yes.
Not that I'm upset by it. I fucking love popcorn.
Yes.
But if they're not selling popcorn, it fucking smells of flowers.
That's wild.
I know, it's really cool.
I will definitely keep my nose open.
Ooh. Those nostrils flared. Ooh. Also, when I'm referring to boxes, I mean like the box seats at like the sides of the theaters, for those who aren't as familiar.
Yes.
Where the like super fancy people would go to sit.
Yeah.
Yes. So like think Phantom of the Opera, where Raoul is when he first sees Christine singing Think of Me, and he's like, bravo! He's in a box seat.
Gotcha.
I'm always going to bring it back to Phantom.
Of course.
I'm not sorry. You know what? I was going to apologize. I'm not sorry.
No.
So some believe that the figure that this actress had seen was the spirit of Beatrice, a former actress who had performed at the Royal Alexandra Theatre in its earliest days. So Beatrice, it said, was heartbroken over an ill-fated love affair.
It's always a love affair.
It's always a fucking love affair. This is why we need V.
I know V would be all up in this.
She would be. And in her grief, Beatrice fell to her death from one of the balcony railings.
Oh, rip.
Yeah, rip. To this day, some claim to see her ghost lingering in the same spot where her life tragically ended. Her eyes filled with longing, her gaze turned toward the stage she once loved.
Oh,
Oh,
poor Beatrice.
I know. But Beatrice isn't the only spirit who calls the Royal Alexandra home. In fact, there are rumors of multiple restless souls wandering through the theater's hallowed halls. One of the most persistent and most recorded encounters is that of a former stagehand, a man who worked at the theater in the 1930s. He was described as a quiet, unassuming man, often seen working late into the night. Legend has it that one evening, while working alone in the darkened theater, he suffered a fatal accident. Some speculate it was a fall from like the rafters where you hang the stage lights.
Yeah.
While others claim it was a heart attack.
Aw.
I know. His presence, however, never exited through stage door.
Oh.
Like the little light in there.
Yes, I love that.
Workers on late shifts have often reported hearing the sound of footsteps trailing behind them.
Yes.
Only to turn around and find no one there. His ghost is said to appear most often backstage, so if you go, you probably won't hear the footsteps, where he once worked tirelessly to ensure the shows went on. Some claim to have seen him in the theater's infamous catwalks, which again is those high up passages where they rig the stage lights, which is purportedly, supposedly where he fell from. Now, is it the spirit of a worker bound to the stage by his dedication, or is it something else? Something older that refuses to leave?
Oh, I just got the chills. Girl.
Sorry.
Let's go.
Let's do it. So these are the two, and out of all of the 4 Mirvish theaters, the Royal Alexandra has the most recorded hauntings. They do haunted tours.
Oh, well, we should definitely book that.
We should definitely book that. Oh, we also have to do the Pioneer Village one.
We have to do a couple.
And the one at the Elgin Winter Garden Theater, which is one of the other ones I want to get to, but don't worry, I'll sprinkle some other shit in first. I also used to work at that theater. You'll find that I've worked at a lot of theaters in the city.
Yeah. Theater kid equals theater employee.
I mean, look, listen, I loved it. I really did. It just didn't pay the bills.
No.
But it was so much fun.
I bet it was fun. It just, too much work for not enough pay.
That's right. And it wasn't consistent work, right? Because when the theater is dark, I had to go on EI.
Yeah, no.
None of that.
Not good.
No, thank you. No, ma'am.
No.
But I did meet my partner at the Eddie, so.
Aww. Ooh. Griffin.
Sorry. But it's not just the Grand Theatre that harbors these spirits. The Royal Alexandra's hidden nooks and crannies, so backstage areas, dressing rooms, the twisting hallways, and almost 2 cozy staircases. I don't know if you've ever been to the Rat.
I haven't.
My God, the staircases going up to like the balcony level are so fucking narrow. Like there's no way they're up to code, but it's also part of the historical society. Like there's no way those staircases are up to code.
No.
But the building's part of the historical society, so they can't actually change the structure and bring it to code. It's fucking wild.
Damn, really?
Yeah. So those cozy staircases have been known to play tricks on those who wander too far. Sometimes those working late into the night or the few stragglers left to leave after a performance report feeling a strange presence, as though they're not alone. Old pipes and creaky floorboards seem to whisper the names of long-forgotten actors and crew members, their voices lost in time. Finally, there is the woman in white.
It's always a woman in white.
It is. And so actually, I found this really cool author. His name is James something. While I was researching for this.
Mm-hmm.
And he's written a whole lot of books about hauntings throughout Canada.
Yeah.
And I have to I'm going to purchase them all. I'm going to read them all. And so he actually, in one of his books, talks about the kind of like concept of the woman in white.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's like a ghostly apparition that appears throughout many, many, many different cultures.
Yes.
And so like, for example, in Japanese culture, I'm so sorry, I know I'm not pronouncing this right, but I'm doing my best. It's the onryu,
Okay.
which is a woman who's wearing white. Like, think of The Ring.
Yeah.
That's like an onryu. So it's like a restless, in Japanese culture, it's very specifically wearing like white garb and has long dark hair.
Okay, so The Grudge.
Yeah, and The Ring.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So that's like, anyway, so the woman in white just expands through so many different cultures. And so I really, 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 I'm going to come back and I'm going to do an episode like on the mystery of the quote woman in white.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm into that. And you'll understand why in a little bit. We're going to get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go
So
there.
at the Rat, some believe this woman in white is a former guest, an audience member who passed away during a show. This is really sad.
Yeah.
While I was working at the Roy Thompson Hall, one of my coworkers, and this is before my time, I wasn't there when this happened, but one of my coworkers talked about how one of the patrons like had a heart attack and died in at Roy.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Yeah.
And then it made me really sad. And then he goes, "Don't worry, I also helped a woman give birth at the theater." And I said, "What the fuck?"
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Everything happens at RTH.
Everything happens at the theater.
Yes.
Swear to God. I have so many stories. Anyways, this woman in white, so some say was an audience member who passed away during the show. Others say she was once a performer, a dancer who never quite made it big. Regardless of her past, she's seen at the very, very back of the theater of the upper balconies, and she's often looking down onto the stage with a wistful expression. There's something eerie about the way she's described. Figure flowing in a white garb, standing absolutely motionless, and she's always in the exact same spot.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's fucking creepy. If you happen to pass her, you might feel a sudden brush of cold air or hear the softest rustling noise. Not like that, large noise. If you caught that.
That scared me.
It's definitely just Michelle's dog Sophie being silly upstairs.
Yes.
Sorry, y'all. As though her dress is being gently stirred by a breeze. Yeah. And then when you glance back to be like, did I really fucking see that? She gone.
Of course.
She gone.
She can only stick around for so much.
I know, right?
For so long.
She's like, no, I'm just here to like fuck with you.
Exactly.
Which is exactly what I would do if I was a ghost.
Yeah. Now you see me, now you don't.
Ha So although the Royal Alexandra Theatre, again, has the most prolific hauntings amongst all of the Mirvish theatres, the legend of the woman in white also follows us to the Ed Mirvish Theatre, where I once worked.
Yes.
Yes. So the Ed Mirvish Theatre, located on Yonge Street, is no stranger to grand performances. It's also been home to countless plays, musicals, films, and live performances since it first opened its doors in August 1920. Designed by Thomas W. Lamb, the theater... Sorry. Thomas W. Lamb.
That's definitely how I pronounce it back then. With that accent.
With that accent.
Yep.
Absolutely. Oh. Thomas W. Lamb. Such a beautiful architect.
Oh,
Look
yes.
at this gorgeous building. It's 1920 in the summer. I need me a mint julep.
Somebody get this girl a mint julep.
Fuck, they're
stat.
so good. Fucking
Never
love
had
a
one.
mint julep. Oh, girl, we're having mint juleps in the summer.
Okay, let's go.
It's good shit.
Let's go.
Let's go. Originally, the original name of the theater was the Pantages, after its first manager, Alexander Pantages. So from 1930 to 1973, it did change. The theater was named the Imperial Theater, and following the 1973 multiplex renovations, because it was turned into a movie theater, the theater was named the Imperial 6, having 6 screens for film viewing pleasure. Now, in 1989, the original Pantages Theater name was restored, where the historic 10-year run of, can you guess it? Phantom of the Opera, y'all.
Of course.
Fucking love it. Was staged between 1989 and 1999.
Wow.
My grade 11 and 12 drama teacher, Mr. McGrade, love you so much, Gregory. Fucking shout out to Gregory and Sam. I love you both so much. Teachers, man, they really impact your life in such a hardcore
they
way.
do.
And I owe so much to G McG.
There you go.
God, I love him.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is really funny. He hates Phantom of the Opera so much because he worked it for 10 years. He had to listen to it like 9 times a week for 10 fucking years.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, I don't blame him. I'd hate it too.
Same.
But I remember we went on a school field trip to New York, like our graduation trip with our drama class.
Oh yeah.
And he got to choose. We went to go see 2 Broadway shows, and he was like, I'm choosing one. And like took it to the class and was like, and I'll let you choose one.
Oh no.
And obviously we all chose Phantom of the Opera, mostly to piss him off.
Oh, classic.
But it was the coolest fucking show ever. And I'm not gonna lie, and I'm so sorry, Gregory, if you're listening to this, but I was so fucking stoned when I went to go see that show. I was so stoned, and I'm sure you knew, but I was. And we were sitting at like the very, very back of the balcony.
Mm.
And so if you've ever seen the Phantom of the Opera in like a live performance, the whole show's like set in a theater. So the Phantom just pops out randomly throughout the theater.
Yeah, I love that.
Which is so fucking cool in itself.
Mm-hmm.
But because I was so stoned, I was sitting on the aisle seat in the very back row of the theater in New York. And it was right near a door. And so the Phantom popped out of the door right behind me on the aisle. And I was so stoned and I was not expecting it. And I screamed. And his fucking mic picked up my scream. His mic picked up my scream.
Oh my God.
Which, like, at the time, I was mortified. But, like, thinking back on it, I just think it added to the show.
It would have definitely added to the show.
Oh my God, I bet the actor playing the Phantom was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, or you scared him.
I probably scared him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it just also reminds me of when we went to Casa Loma for the haunted the exhibit or whatever they do.
The Legends of Horror.
Yeah, the Legends of Horror. And you were like, you and the Phantom were just going for it, singing to each other. Yeah, that was hot.
That was hot. Do you have a video of that, or does Gabby have the video of that?
So I used to have a video, but it's on my old phone, which got stolen from a local No Frills. What up?
What up, No Frills? Get that phone back, please.
Yeah. Or help me not be ADD.
I don't know if No Frills can help with
Probably
that,
not.
Sadly. In 2001, when it was renamed the Cannon Theatre, and then finally in 2011, the theater was renamed the Ed Mirvish Theatre in honor of Honest Ed Mirvish, who V actually mentioned in last week's episode or the week before that.
I think it's our first episode.
Work.
Work. I think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think we've talked about Ed Mirvish and Honest Ed's a couple of times.
Yeah, the Mirvish family are very prolific here in Toronto.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll come up a couple more times.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm so fucking sure. The grandeur of its architecture, the rich history of its performances. It's no wonder that the Ed Mirvish Theatre has become a landmark for theatregoers in Toronto. But like many buildings of its age and significance, it carries with it the weight of time. Not long after the theater's construction, strange rumors began to circulate. Staff working late into the night, actors rehearsing, and theatergoers lingering in the lobby spoke of unexplainable happenings, unsettling sensations, flickers of movement, and voices that seemed to come from nowhere. The most chilling of all? A ghostly figure wearing white, said to haunt the upper balcony.
Oh, man.
And I've actually seen the woman in white at the Ed Mirvish Theatre.
Yeah, you were saying.
Yeah.
In that corridor?
In that corridor, yeah. Again, in the boxes.
Yeah.
On the left mezzanine. So at the Ed Mirvish Theatre, the left side of the mezzanine and rear mezzanine is the like haunted hotspot of that theater.
Yeah.
Although I do have an ex-coworker, you know who you are. Please write in to us. I want to tell your story about an experience she had.
Okay.
In the basement downstairs where the change rooms are.
Yes, we need your story.
I don't want to say your name and call you out in case you want to remain anonymous in the story you send, but like, you know who you are. I actually think I'm just going to message you after we finish recording this because your story is really, really friggin' spooky and I really want to tell it.
Yeah, and if anyone has any additional stories, we are wanting to do like a speaker's corner with your ghost stories.
Oh, I love that. Speaker's corner. That's cute.
Yeah, like bring it back. Speaker's corner.
Let's do it.
Ghostly corner. But yeah, we want to start sharing our listener stories. So please write in.
Mm-hmm. I think I was starting a performance of Annie.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was working the left mezzanine. And so where you stand in the left mezzanine is kind of off to the side, and it has you looking into like down the hall that leads to the mezzanine boxes.
Yeah.
And so one of our jobs as the ushers, when that's our position, is to close the curtains off to that hallway when the performance starts. Because there's stairs going down to the orchestra level, then has to be a light on it because it's stairs.
Yeah.
So we have to close it to help with the light reduction. And so the boxes were not sold for that performance. And I'm watching the show. It's a hard knock life, yada, yada. Yeah. And all of a sudden, I see something out of the corner of my eye. Because the curtains, they're so old, they didn't close all the way. So, like, they would close all the way at the top, but the way that the drapes fell, it left, like, an opening. And so, out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw something move. And then I turned my head to look over, and I saw a woman wearing a white dress cross across that like gap in the curtains.
That's so creepy, dude.
It was so creepy. And immediately I was like, oh, the boxes aren't sold. No one's supposed to be there. What the fuck is this person doing? So I went to go investigate, and I opened the curtains, and like the only other place that this person could have gone was down the stairs. And I was like, maybe like
definitely not going down those stairs.
No, I was like 0.2 seconds behind her because I didn't have very far to go. It was like 3 steps away. And I like opened the curtains, and I looked over the railing of the stairs that went down to the orchestra. No one was there. I went down the stairs to go to the orchestra boxes. No one there.
Oh my God.
I looked out the curtains from the box hallway into the orchestra. No one there. I went to the usher at the position at the bottom orchestra of the box level, and I was like, "Hey, did a woman wearing like a white or a pale colored dress like walk by?" No. So I've seen the woman in white.
You've definitely seen her apparition for sure.
Oh, 100%.
For sure.
And like when I did, and okay, here's the thing: I run cold. Theaters are generally cold because stage lights are hot and you don't want the actors to die on stage while they're singing and dancing. So they're generally kept a little cool. But the fucking staircase was freezing.
Yeah.
When I went down to like check to see if anyone was downstairs, it was effing freezing.
That's scary as sin.
It was scary as sin. Bringing it back for you, V. Scary as sin. But yeah, it was pretty cool. And it's not the only story I'm going to touch upon. So legend has it that this ghostly presence of a woman that I saw, dressed in an elegant gown, her figure draped in an almost ethereal light, which is the only way I would have seen her in this fucking dark ass like crack of a drape.
Yeah.
Is often seen standing in one of the upper level boxes, which is where I saw her, her pale face gazing down at the stage below. Her eyes, they say, which I can't speak to because I didn't look her in the eyes, are wide with sorrow. Some claim she is waiting for something or someone, as though she's trapped in a timeless loop.
That's so sad.
Isn't that so sad?
Yeah. I wonder what her real story is.
I know. I tried to like find her history, but it's really just like a lot of sightings recordings. There's no really theory on a name of who this might have been or what her story is, but like that's the shit I want to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, if you guys know, leave us comments.
Yeah, write in. We want to know. I don't know, couldn't find it. If you know, please tell me because I'm dying here. Not in the same way as this woman did, but I'm dying to know. You know.
Don't you know?
Don't you know? Her ghost is known to disappear as quickly as she appears, which she fucking did, vanishing into the shadows, leaving only a cold chill in the air, which she fucking did. Some have seen her in fleeting glimpses just out of the corner of their eye. Me! I did.
Did you?
I did. Others have reported hearing the faintest whisper, the soft rustle of fabric brushing against velvet curtains.
Mm-hmm.
The curtains I close are velvet. They're blue velvet. She wore blue velvet. It's also a great film by David Lynch. Go check it out.
Oh my gosh. Okay, story.
I'm sorry. I just love David Lynch, Kyle MacLachlan, and Isabella Rossellini.
There you go.
Yeah. But who is this woman? Is she the same specter from The Rat? Does she move between the theaters? Theories vary. Some believe she was once a patron, a woman who tragically lost her life in a car accident outside the theater many years ago. Others think she might be the spirit of an actress who performed on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's theories.
There's theories, but there's no confirmation.
Yeah.
You know, which is like, that's okay. I get it. We love you. But the hauntings of the Ed Mirvish Theatre are not limited to that single specter. There are whispers of other restless souls, each tied to the history of the theater in their own way. Actors, workers, and performers who have come and gone, but whose energy seems to still reside in the theater's halls. One of the most chilling tales comes from the backstage area, where staff working late into the night report hearing strange noises. Mostly the sounds of doors creaking open and then slamming closed.
Ooh.
Yeah. But perhaps the most unsettling of all is the faint clinking of chains.
What?
Yeah, a la Jacob fucking Marley.
What the hell?
Yeah. Some believe it's the spirit of a former stagehand who is said to have died in an accident while working on a production. Though some say his death was accidental, others believe it was more sinister, more deliberate.
Uh-oh.
A moida. Whatever the case, because this is inconclusive, we don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever the case, his presence is unmistakable. Workers who stay behind after hours have reported a strange feeling of being watched, a coldness in the air that seems to linger, and of course, the incessant sound of clinking chains.
Oh.
Can you fucking imagine?
That is spine chilling.
It fucking is. I'd be like, I'm sorry. I thought I was nicer than Mr. Ebenezer over here.
Truly.
Leave me alone, Jacob.
Truly.
There's also the unexplained light. So it's a curious phenomenon that many have witnessed. There are those who swear they've seen a light flicker in one of the upper balconies when no one is supposed to be there. So no technician, no crew member, no performer. There's just the soft glowing light casting long shadows on the worn velvet seats below. Yeah. Theories abound, of course. Some believe it's the ghost of a former theater goer, a spirit who once enjoyed the performances and now returns to relive their memories. I think it's really cute.
Yeah.
Like, I would do that if I was a ghost.
Definitely. Go see your favorite plays.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go watch 10 Years of Phantom. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. But regardless who or what is behind these strange events, there's one thing that remains certain. The Ed Mirvish Theatre is not just a place of art and culture. It is a place where the dead linger, where the past haunts the present, and where every footstep taken on the creaky old floors seems to carry the weight of its history. Perhaps this is the true essence of haunting. Souls not trapped by chains or sorrow, even though you hear the chains backstage, but by the life they once knew. And like the lights of the Ed Mirvish and Royal Alexandra theaters that flicker in the dark, these spirits are only waiting for someone to notice them. So if you ever find yourself sitting in the dim light of the Mirvish theaters, waiting for the next act to begin, take a moment to listen. Listen closely, for the whispers of the past might be just around the corner, lingering in the shadows. And if you're lucky, or maybe unlucky, you might catch a glimpse of those who are still waiting for their stories to be told once more. And as the final curtain falls, remember, not all things that vanish truly leave. Some stories live on in the shadows, in the spaces between the stage and the audience. if you've enjoyed this episode, on that note, please be sure to share and subscribe. And please send in your stories to all my friends and old coworkers for the theaters, or if any of y'all have any encounter stories, we want to hear them. We want to do
Speaker's Corner.
Speaker's Corner. We want to do Speaker's Corner, and stay tuned for that Speaker's Corner because that's when I'll tell my other 2 stories.
Yes, absolutely.
They're not my experiences, but I will reiterate the experience that I've heard from coworkers.
We have been collecting a couple stories already. I have a story about an exorcism. I have a friend who works in a psychiatric hospital who has stories.
Oh, yes. You're telling me about that
so
one.
I'm waiting for her to write in. You know who you are, girl. And yeah, we're just really looking forward to telling all of your stories and seeing what we can drag up from the underworld.
The underworld. And as of the recording today, I think our first episode launches in a week and a half.
Yes. Obviously, we're recording these ahead of time.
Yes. Clearly, this will be like a month in, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably.
This is very exciting. So if this is the first episode you are listening to, let's go back to the beginning. And then also make sure to share and subscribe, and always remember to keep your lights on and your hearts open. Bye.